Okay, so a very good evening to all fellow inner circlets. Really excited for tonight because at first I thought that there is not going to be much submissions, but guess that most people are just like me, kind of like a last minute kind of person. So in the last minute, I received about 3 submissions and a couple of questions, which makes it an eventful evening for all of us. And especially now that as I'm looking at my calendar, a quarter of the year has passed. 3 months has just flown by just like this, so fast, right? And it's time to pick up the pace if you have not. And I'm really excited. I know some of you probably rushed back. I mean, Jessica rushed back from a class and Travis rushed back from his work just to join us for tonight. And I will not disappoint you guys. So tonight, I'm going to review to you a couple more distinctions that I've made throughout the last few weeks, maybe in the last few months as well, that I didn't get to really cover this during the seminar or during the inner circle previously. So we'll get to that in a while. But for now, just the usual ones, the usual stuff, all rights reserved. Do not share any part of this with anybody who's not in the inner circle. And you may, however, discuss your learning points with the inner circlets on the page that you downloaded this video. So just so you know, video quality of live internet streaming has been known to be quite inconsistent and sometimes a little bit poor as well. Even if you're using Google technologies, that's what we're using. But rest assured that the entire session will be recorded and the recording will be in higher resolution and higher quality as well. So to get the most out of this session, as we're going through the session, I'd like you to take down serious notes of those aha moments and pointers that you can begin to apply to your own ebook business and or your life as well. All right, so let's get started with the inner circle submissions that I've received so far. So I'm going to switch the screen over in just a bit. Okay, so make sure that you can listen to my voice and you can see my screen next. I'm going to switch you over to the page. Let me see, where is that? Is it this one? Not very sure. Probably not. I have another one. Let me see. Should be. Okay, so in the meantime, by the way, since my screen is having some small little minor issues, but okay, let's get started over here. Now, this is one of the ebooks that I've received for submission tonight, for critique session tonight. So I'm just going to answer them and take a look at the questions. I mean, answer the questions and take a look at the critique session. So a couple of things first. I've decided to go with Q&A session right now. So let me flip the screen over to the questions that I've received so far. Okay, so here you go. All right. So Hong Jing was asking this question. I'm still working on my first ebook. I've actually gone through the diligence of using AK Dominator. Topic is dating. I use dating for the seed keyword. And this is the one that he sent to me, which I censored it for him. Click on the keywords window popped out of this reference, blah, blah, blah. Question is, how does Amazon Kindle know that this book belongs to a keyword search phrase? Now, the answer is simple. That as the author was publishing the ebook, he probably added in the list of keywords that he wants to target, he probably added in this keyword phrase. And that's why when you are searching for his keywords or searching using the keyword phrase, his book actually pops up, although it does not contain any of this inside the main title itself. Now, what I do suggest you is the reason why we add it inside the title, main title, is part of search engine optimization, which increases the chances of ebooks or your ebook ranking higher for that search results. But much more than that, the reason why we add in the primary keyword phrase into your main title is to capture people's attention. Imagine if someone is looking for example, dating tips, right? Dating tips for guys, for example. So what if someone is typing in dating tips for guys and on Amazon, it appears your book in the top 5 and it contains the keyword phrase that they were searching for, dating tips for men, plus your USP, of course, that makes up your main title. But this means that it's 100% relevance to the person, what the person is searching for. And that's why it's important for you to add it into the book title so that people at one glance, they know that because this is what they're searching for, they know that your book probably can answer and provide the solutions as to what they're looking for. Okay? So that's the only reason why we do that. So question is, concern if I write my ebook with a different title, how do I ensure my ebook be displayed once the customer enters? Oops, let me censor that word, okay? The keyword phrase. Okay, the answer is, how do we ensure that the ebook will be displayed? Well, there is this video, mastery video, which I covered on how can you increase your chances of ranking top, page number 1 for the keyword phrase that you're targeting. Right? So go watch that video. It's inside the Inner Circle Mastery Videos section. And that's the part where we talked about having your keyword phrase inside the main title. And we talk about certain tricks on how you can increase the probability of your ebook appearing in the top first page for that keyword phrase. But generally, if you were to use the keyword phrase, primary keyword phrase inside the main title, the chances of you getting on top of the keyword search results is pretty high, right? So over here, my suggestion is you do not deviate too much from, or rather do not even deviate from the formula that I share with you, where the main title equals to the primary keyword phrase plus the USP. Again, reason why it's not just to optimize for the search engines, but really to optimize for human relevance or the way that we think. Again, when someone is searching for quick tips or dating tips for men, if you can present a book with the title Dating Tips for Men with, of course, your USP inside, it is 100% relevance. They are more likely to click that keyword phrase, okay? Or to click that book. Now, the next question, Travis is asking, Dom, the challenge I'm having is creating Amazon account for ebook review. Amazon blocked my account after I purchased the gift card. Now, chances are it happened because you may have used your own identity to create an Amazon account, of which my suggestion right now is if they have detected that you're most probably the same person, then my suggestion is why not, with the help of a family member who is supportive, or just find someone who trusts you, use their credit card, of course, with their permission, create an Amazon account under their name, use a different computer, use a different browser if possible, so that the cookies does not show that you're actually the same customer, but using multiple accounts. And also do your best to use a VPN service, right? So I tried using local credit card with local address, also tried CyberGhost, still Amazon blocked my account. So again, they probably block your account because you're using the same identity. So if you're to use someone else's identity to buy the ebooks and to review them, as long as it's not yours, then ethically and theoretically, it should work, okay? So of course, by the way, just to let you guys know, there are many other places that you can get reviews from, which of course you do need to do a review swap no matter what. Do not buy reviews. I'm going to tell you upfront, do not buy reviews. There's this Vietnamese graduate who used to buy reviews, and after that, his reviews were all removed, and Amazon sent him a stern warning to tell them that if they were to detect that he bought or he continues to buy reviews, his account will be blocked and terminated immediately. Okay, so do not buy reviews. But there are other places where you can go and find people to do review swap. Of course, the forum is good, but at the same time, the maximum number of people who's active in the forum, I mean, there's always a cap. If you find that the number of people who's active in our forum is not enough for your purpose, or they are not interested in the kind of books that you push out, then that's fine. What you can do is you can go and join some Facebook groups. Go and Google for Kindle author Facebook groups. Kindle author Facebook groups. Go search for them. Usually I'll go to blogs where they list down all these authors' Facebook groups that I can be part of, and I'll get my freelancer to join and to do a review swap with perhaps maybe other freelancers of authors or authors themselves. And that's how I get a bulk, or rather majority, of my own reviews as well. Okay? So that way, at least you have a more diversified pool of reviewers. And it's not constantly the same people in our forum who constantly reviews each other's ebooks. At least with other people in the mixture, it looks more natural. Okay? Okay, so with all the questions that I've answered so far, for those of you who are joining us live right now, should you have any questions, now is a good time to ask. Now is the time for you to ask the question, okay? So if not, I'm going to skip right to critique session right now. Now, let's take a look at the ebooks, starting from the first one that I received. And this is the one. Little Monster, Little Kids, Tame Them All, a mini guide for new parents to deal with monstrous kids. Now, if you take a look at the cover, first of all, let's take a look at the cover. It looks very cluttered, and my suggestion is to keep things simple. And especially when you're using images, you may not want to use images that are overly negative, right? I mean, this kid eating the vegetable is cute, playing with paint is cute, potty training the kid is cute, but this kid who's shouting looks a little bit too scary. And when people want to purchase your book, impressions count. Covers capture their attention. Yes, it may capture their attention over here, but the question is it the right kind of attention? And there's too many colors over here. I'm not too sure what is the idea behind it or the psychology behind it, but if you have experience inside this market and you know that multi-colors will work very well, then go ahead, use them. But when in doubt, you probably want to take a look at those books in your market who is the top inside the bestseller list. And then you take a look at how do they position their own ebook cover, how do they design their own ebook covers. Okay, so it would be useful if you were to go for example, since you're targeting parenting and relationships, right? Let's see whether you do it that way. Seems like you went for parent participation, or probably it's this one. Okay, so let me go to Google. Okay, so let's see. If you're to look at the bestsellers list, then the question now is, do you see many other books? Let me increase the font, the size for you. Do you see many other books with multicolors like yours? Right? So yes, if you see a lot of multicolors, then yes, it might work very well. But you'll notice that their cover are kind of simple as well. That it is not, at least not as cluttered as the one that you have. So my suggestion is you probably want to do some changes to the covers as well, but that is just my suggestion. Now, next thing, I do not notice, I mean, I could not find a primary keyword phrase and a USP inside your ebook. So it may be catchy, little monsters, little kids, tame them all. It may be catchy, however, it may not bring the right message to the customers. Imagine if someone is looking for example, parenting books, and it comes out, little monsters, little kids, tame them all. The question is, will they even bother clicking? Right? Because right at the get-go, if I were to look at your cover, it does not give me a unique reason, or it does not give me a USP to explain to me why I should pay more attention to your ebook. And remember, USP is very, very important. And that's why you have to put in more focus on the USP part. Right? So that is for every one of you who's listening to me right now, watching this video right now. Pay a lot of attention to your USP. Because if someone were to take a look at the book and they cannot identify the USP, you have lost their attention forever, you have lost the sale forever. So it's important for you to write down the USP inside the main title and the primary keyword phrase as well. So depending on what the primary keyword phrase is, add in with the USP that makes up your main title. Subtitle should be made up with the desired outcome. So a mini guide for new parents to deal with monstrous kids. Now, sounds good, but why not end with a desired outcome? Why not a mini guide to transform monstrous kids into little angels or something like that, something that's more believable? So at least there's something that people can look forward to rather than just to deal with monstrous kids. I bet they want to have obedient kids. So why not transform monstrous kids to obedient kids, something like that, right? And if you're doing this, the subtitle, it ought to be in caps. Title case, meaning mini guide for new parents, blah, 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 with everything in caps. Okay, you see what I'm doing over here? So this will allow people to read your text much faster and understand it better. There's statistics done that simply by doing title caps or title case, it increases the comprehension or the understanding of that sentence. So it captures people's attention as well, okay? Now, next thing. In your cover, I noticed that your pen name is at the top. Now, my suggestion is, if you were to look at all these books, many of them, even for this very famous lady, Heidi McGough, What she did was she simply added her author name at the bottom. And that's what I would suggest you to do as well. Add your author name to the bottom unless your name is already a famous brand name in the market. Then you can consider putting it right at the top, right? So it's important that you place customers ahead of your own author name. So it positions subconsciously in other people's mind that if I were to see this upfront, I'm just going to have this impression that this person is very egocentric. Because imagine the first thing that people see is just the name, which adds little or no value to the person at all, unless it's a credibility booster. If not, it adds no value to the customer. You might as well add in the text right at the top, where it is your primary keyword phrase plus the USP, which makes up your main title, and that will capture people's attention more effectively. And you'll be able to hold their attention as well. All right, so next thing, here's the description. Let's work on it together. Now, with my limited understanding of Topless, I'm going to do my best to edit it for you. All right. So there is a common template when it comes to writing descriptions, which I'm not too sure if you guys can recall, but take a moment to think about it. We always start off by building a rapport by allowing people to say a simple yes, right? So want to get a head start to learn how to deal with little cute monsters? Now, I don't think people want to it's kind of contradicting. You're talking about having monstrous kids, right? With this very scary kid in the picture in the foreground, and now you're talking about little cute monsters. Sounds a little bit conflicting. The testimonials, or rather the description, is starting to sound cute, but the title sounds scary. So there is a little bit of a disconnect over there. So that's the part where you need to know what is the end outcome that the parents really want. So if the end outcome is that parents want to have obedient kids, why not just start off with, would you like have you ever wished you could transform those, or transform your little monsters into obedient and cute angels? Okay. And that's the time when you will talk about your title. We'll show you USP. Right? So over here, if I were to look at the whole description, there is also no USP as well, which is common. I mean, it's one of the commonly made mistakes, common mistakes among BIS graduates as well as inner circlets as well, that they got too engrossed into creating an ebook, they forgot all about it, about highlighting the USP. And that's the part where you need to have a USP so that people will continue to give you that attention. So title will show you USP. Right, so for those of you who are joining me live right now, it's a good reminder for you to make sure that you have a USP inside your ebook cover, your ebook title, as well as your ebook description. So title will show you blah, 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 blah. Or like my favorite is, unlike other parenting books or unlike other parenting guides, title will show you, or rather just the main title, will show you the USP. Will show you, for example, the 7-step system to turning little monsters into obedient and cute angels, something like that. Now, please replace this with the desired outcome. I'm not in the market. I do not know anything about the market. I don't know whether this is the desired outcome they want to be part of or they want in their lives. I don't know. You have to check that. Okay? We'll show you this. One primary rule is to nurture and discipline them while they are still young, or you can give in to their cute spells and watch them turn to little uncontrollable monsters. Well, sounds very good as an introduction to the ebook. However, it does not add any real value or push them closer to the sale at this moment. Recall and remember that your description is meant to do one thing and one thing only, is to sell your ebook. It is not so much to educate them as much as it is to sell your ebook to them. So you can tell them, you can state all this, but it doesn't really add value to the sales process, does it? No. Right? So if I were you, I would remove this completely. And I'll say, inside this mini guide, why would you even have to say a mini guide? Why not just call it a handbook though? Handbook sounds more friendly. Handbook sounds more step by step. You can say inside you will learn 5 structures to put into your child's lives, which is the feature to what? What's the benefit? Right? So again, features versus benefits. Don't get too engrossed by talking about 1 gigabyte of RAM. Explain to them why 1 gigabyte of RAM can improve their efficiency, can improve their productivity. What does the 1 gigabyte of RAM does? You need to explain that inside the description as well. 5 ways to say no to your child so that what? Benefits again. Come on. 5 ways to get your child to eat vegetables. Okay. Oh, I'm not too sure about that. Overemphasis of 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Sounds like a magic number to me. There must be some psychology behind that. But if not, this sounds a little bit too overwhelming. Well, 5 ways to stop your child from crying in 3 minutes. And there's no need for you to continue to, do all this stuff. Why not just like that? Why must that be shouting as we move along? It's like having trouble with naughty kids want to find out more. Click buy now and embark on a journey. It's too much. Anything that's in caps on the internet that's text written is basically people shouting. And we don't like people who just keep shouting almost every second. Come on. So there's no need for you to do that. 5 ways to stop your child from crying in 3 minutes. Right? Okay. So 5 ways to get your child to eat vegetables. So what? So that they can grow up to be smart kids, so that they can have the right nutrition, so that they can what? And stop your child from crying in 3 minutes. Okay, 5 ways to stop your child. Does it mean that stop anybody's child? Or 5 ways to stop almost any child from crying in 3 minutes? Right? Okay, so you probably need a lot more content than this, because as I'm looking at this book right now, without the mentioning of USP, this sounds like every other book out there. I mean, there are many parenting books out there that can teach people how to say no to their child, right? How to get their child to eat vegetable, how to get their child to stop crying. It sounds to me like it's common sense things that most parenting books should have. I mean, I cannot imagine buying a parenting book that does not have that. But again, I'm not in the target market, so I may not know the market really well. But if I'm a new parent, that is what I will be expecting from the book. And chances are I will be able to find all this information in other people's books, of which, again, the question is, what's so unique about your book? What does your book have that other books don't have, right? And having just a mini guide doesn't say anything much. Mini, to many people, it may sound convenient, but a mini guide at this point in time doesn't sound as impactful as a concise guide, or doesn't sound as impactful as a handbook. If I'm a new parent, right, which I'm sure I will be at any point in time, hopefully soon. But my point is, when I'm a new parent, if you want to capture my attention, you gotta tell me what's so unique about this book. What will I be able to find from your book that I could not find in other people's books? Then I will invest in you. Wouldn't that be the same in every industry that you go into? So common mistake over here, no USP. Work on your USP, and then the description will write by itself. All right? And you need to cover more stuff that makes it sound more unique. If not, by looking at the table of contents right now, I would probably go with other people's books. Like the common question right now is this: why would I have to buy your book? Why not let me just check out one of those top 3 ebooks in the market right now? What's so different about your book that I cannot find in all these books, right? So you need to be able to mention that. You need to be able to address that, and then you have my attention. Okay, so my feedback over here, biggest feedback over here, work on a USP. So for those of you who are listening to me live right now, write down, if you have notes with you, if you don't have, type it out somewhere, save notes as we're going through so that you can internalize what I share with you. Write down, USP is important. Okay, write down, USP is important. Now, let's move on to the next book, which is by Travis. So for Travis, the book is called Real Estate Investing for Beginners. Now, if I were to take a look at the cover, it looks good. It looks professionally written. I mean, professionally done. Then the subtitle says minimize the risk of failure and get the deals done. Now, what do you mean by failure? Do you mean by losing money? Or do you mean by failure to get the house, failure to get the mortgage, failure to get the loan? What are you talking about? So that's the part where you need to address that. The risk of failure. Failure in what? Right? And get the deals done. Now, real estate investing, why do you need to get deals done? Isn't it just about buying houses? Is it about getting the deals done, as in the mortgage deals? Is it about getting the house deal? What kind of deals are you talking about? You probably need to be a little bit more specific. Or if you think that this is really just for beginners, then the question is this: what does your book have? Again, the USP that other books talking about real estate investing for beginners, what else does your have that their book does not? You need to be able to address that. Because if I were to look at the reviews right now, which by the way, you already received some reviews over here, you have 3 customer reviews, meaning that you already have customers buying your ebooks, which is good, even without your promotion, right? You told me you have not promoted yet. Now, looking at your book, it says a good introduction if you're a beginner. Author have both pros and cons. The cons is several grammatical errors, the 3 of the meaning of whole sentence off. Author did not give detailed information to back some of the facts or opinions. So that's the part where the moment you receive any feedback like this, you probably want to start working on them. All these are valid ones. Grammatical errors can easily be corrected by hiring a proofreader or hiring another proofreader. And over here, Steven says, although not in great technical detail, it's easy to read, includes this and info that's useful for everyone. So if that's the feedback, then why not just have more meat inside the book? Why not add in a bonus chapter that talks a little bit more about things that people cannot find in other books? I mean, there are certain times when I created an ebook and I ended up adding more chapters and more meat to the book at a later time, even 1 year later. And that's probably what you need to do as well. That as your book is being pushed out in the market, as you collect customer reviews, take a look at what they say are the jagged edges and polish it. Polish it. There's no such thing as the perfect book out there. I believe there's no such thing as a perfect book. We can perfect it even more, but we cannot make it perfect. You get what I'm saying? We can improve it over time. Over here, USP is very important. I know the USP is probably for beginners, and that's what many people will tell me in your position as well. But the question is it really unique? Are there no other books out there for beginners about real estate investing? And if there is, what is so unique about your ebook that stands out against those other books that are designed for beginners? That's a very good question, isn't it? So you have to consider what is the USP of your ebook. Okay? There are many books out there for beginners. You have to explain why yours is more unique. You see, would you like to have an investment that continues to increase in value without supervision? Let's take a look at how we can improve this even more. First of all, one improvement is go ahead and work on your what? Start working on your USP, right? Let me duplicate tab over here. Let's do it this way. So would you like to have an investment that continues to increase in value even without supervision? Okay. So would you like to own an investment that continues to appreciate in value even without your supervision? Okay. Real estate investing for beginners will show you how you can tap into these guides. Why would you have these guides? This is a guidebook, right? You probably mean by how can you tap into this market? Do you mean that? You probably have to clarify the words that you use. We'll show you. If it's a step-by-step program, I think it will be working. It will work a lot better for beginners. It will show you how you can tap into the real estate market. Now, I'm just going to replace it based on what I think makes sense. But question, if I were to look at this, the question is now, what's so unique about your ebook? Now, the truth is, even if you tell me the USP is step-by-step guide, I'm afraid it may not be that I'm afraid that it may not be that unique in the market anymore, because real estate investing is not a new topic. It is not a new market. It's not a new market. If it's a new market, I will come up with a book for beginners. Like, for example, back then when I was working with witchcraft, it was a brand new idea. Not a lot of people knew about witchcraft. They don't even know that it existed. And back then was like in the heydays of like Harry Potter. And witchcraft was starting to gain popularity. Not a lot of people know how to even do or even know about the existence. And that is why I created a book for beginners when it comes to witchcraft. And it worked it worked terribly well. Or rather, it works super well. Right? Terrible sounds like a bad word, but it works super well. But I gave it another 2 more years and the book completely died down. I mean, there were couple of sales a month, but it is not as big in terms of the sales volume as it was the first 2 years. Now, what does this mean? This means that probably to a new market, to gain popularity, that's gaining popularity, 2 years will be a good period for you to come out with a book for beginners. But when it comes to real estate investing, come out with a book for beginners in a topic that has been covered so extensively, with so many information freely available on the internet, with so many information that's freely available in other books as well. The question is, what makes your book unique now? As you were creating your own ebook, do you face the same questions? Do you have to answer the same questions? Because that is my question to you right now. How unique is your ebook? Now, looking at this, how can we how can we overcome this challenge then? A step-by-step guide, a beginner's guide in the real estate market right now may not be ideal. However, if you can cover things like, for example, a unique angle or unique content that's not covered in other books, like maybe you update your book to include things like deferred payment plans that's available in the market, or new plans to manage your finances and to manage your mortgages that has not been covered in many other books yet, there is a high chance your ebook will stand out. Because at least it covers the updated versions, the updated ways of getting mortgages, arranging a mortgage, etc., etc. That gives people an additional reason to pay more attention to your ebook. You get what I'm saying, Travis? So it's very important for you to really, really do your research in the market, understand what is really lacking, and then you come out with a book to fill up the needs of the market, the unmet needs of the market. That is far more important than rushing out a book, which is what I see many of the graduates are doing. That they didn't really go through any thought process. The moment they identify the topic, the moment they just come up with the primary keyword phrase, they just wham, bam, and they just come out with a book without any much thought into the USP. And again, that's about cutting corners, isn't it? So my suggestion, don't cut corners, get the USP of your own ebook. With a USP, writing the description is so much more effortless. It's so much more effortless because you don't need to explain a lot. You just have that one chapter that other books don't have. And if it's really important for the customers, they will buy your book no matter how bad your description is. So learning to invest in real estate does not need to be complicated. Follow this step by step. Okay, so if it's this step-by-step guide, it's only one. Follow this step-by-step guide and you'll be able to make huge profits in your investment, improve finances, and live the... Oh, wow, this is a huge promise, which sounds a little bit too good to be true, isn't it? You will be able to increase or follow this step-by-step guide and you will be able to, and you will learn how you can
make huge profits in our investment, improve the finances, and live the life you truly desire. This is a little bit too fast. Too fast, too soon. So this is the part where you need to mention your USP and replace it there. So inside you'll discover investment tools you must have. Okay, so this is the one that you must have to outperform the market or taking lower risks. Techniques you can profit from in your real estate journey. What kind of techniques? Mortgage techniques, repayment techniques, what? The 7 steps formula to increasing the chances closing a great deal. I don't know if they call it a great deal. But why not? To increase the chances of buying a property below value. That would explain much more explicitly what makes a great deal, right? 15 tips to maximize the returns from your real estate property. Sounds good, but what if there is a frustration that they want to avoid without having to? You can mention the frustration over here. Right? Without risking a dime, without spending thousands of dollars in renovation, right? And much, much more. Okay. So for those of you who already have AK Dominator, make full use of that. Okay, and much, much more. Okay, so this is the part where you can then do this. After going through this guide, you will discover you will be in a better position, make huge profits from investment, improve your finances, and live the lifestyle. Okay. Okay, making profits. Like to know more? Simply scroll and click on the buy now one click button right away. Okay, much better. Good. Okay, so important point, USP. Okay, so I'm going to send all this revised description, I'm going to send it to you guys. And after you download or you receive the email from me later on, remember, if you need any further help with your description, rewatch this video again, understand my thinking process, understand the main points, remember the main points. And if you need further help with your description, you can always send it to me, of which I can. And I usually go through this during the Inner Circle program, the Inner Circle live coaching. Okay. Now, so based on what I've gone through so far, which is the 2 books, right? The book descriptions. What is the common similarity over here? What's the similarity between these 2 books? I would say that they are both lacking USPs. And it's important to have a USP. Because if you take a step back after you have created the ebook, then you ask yourself this question: would you have bought the book yourself? If you are in the market of real estate investing, and if I would tell you all this stuff that other books can, the information can be easily found in other books, I don't think you want to be a customer of that book as well, right? So it's important that sometimes the big distinction that I have that I'd like to share with you today as well is don't get too caught up as the author. But from time to time, take a step back, go sleep or whatever. Next morning, look at your ebook again and ask yourself the important question: would you buy this book yourself if you're the target customer? Not as the author, but as a target customer. Would you have bought this book yourself? Yes. Why? No. Why? Usually, if you say no, usually it's because there is nothing unique about your own ebook. And that's the part where the USP comes in. So, especially when you're creating your first ebook for the first time, thinking of the USP or coming up with the USP or identifying the USP It may take a little while longer because you need more time to understand the market first. But once you've understood the market, the subsequent ebooks that you're going to create to sell in the market will become so much significantly easier and faster for you. Right? Okay, so now that I've gone through the second ebook description, let's move on to the next one. The third one is by Anne, and Anne sent me this book with the book title Slow Aging Process After 50, Ultimate Handbook to a Younger Physique. Okay, let's take a look at the description. So I've already worked on the title with her previously, and so no feedback on that. It's good. Would you like to feel back being young at your age? What? What age? I think there's a lot of spelling error. You probably need a proofreader for this as well. Would you like to regain? Would you like to feel young again, even after 50? Would you like to feel and look younger? After 50? If yes, well, this is an incredibly very long title. Change this title. I think it's Slow Aging Process After 50. I can't remember what's the main title, but replace this with the main title, okay? Main title will show you how you can achieve that at a comfortable pace with little or no cost. Why? Why don't we say zero cost? Because it sounds a little bit too far-fetched. It means that you basically don't need to spend more time to choose the foods, to buy certain foods, and you don't need to do anything, or rather buy anything new, which is kind of impossible. If they want to change their diet, they still need money to buy the food, right? Inside, you'll discover how to be back to being young. No. This is weird English. How to feel youthful in 4 simple ways. After 50 years old to the young following a lifestyle. What is that? 20 minutes routine that helps slow down the aging process. Okay. I don't get this. 4 practical tips and techniques to slow the signs of aging with good health. 4 practical tips and techniques. Slow down the signs of aging healthily and naturally, if it's possible, okay? And much more. Okay, so going through this guide, you can overcome the aging fear and get over beautifully and happily. You'll be able to slow the signs. Seems like the English over here is a little bit hard to understand. Would you like to feel? They'll show you with little or no cost. So that means this is the USP with little or no cost. Okay, so assuming that this is the USP, then you'll need to mention the USP again inside the bullet point. Because remember that in the bullet points, customers who are schemers, customers who are detail-oriented, they will all look at the bullet points. So you need to mention this inside the bullet points again, just to make sure that they really get it. Schemers will never read full paragraphs like this. So you cannot assume that they have seen the USP yet. So you need to mention it. Now, I'm looking through the whole description and something seems to be critically missing. Maybe it's the USP, I don't know. Or it could be that it doesn't sound comprehensive and sexy enough. 20 minutes routine that helps slow down the aging process. Okay. Because if I look at all these points, right, I have seen before other books that talked about how to regain youth after 50 or after 40. I've seen such books before. And all this content, I found it in other books before. Just that probably I've not seen 20 minutes routine yet. Right? So this would be the part that will attract my attention the most. But you need far more points than this. And to regain or to retain that attention, the rest is like, as I'm going through, it's like, okay, I know how to do that. Okay, I know this as well. Okay, I mean, I don't understand this, but okay, I know the practical tips and techniques. I know how to do that. And then it's like much more already. So in other words, to my perception, I only find this to be useful. So at the back of my mind, I'm already discounting in my mind. This book is $2.99. I'm already discounting and thinking that this book is worth only 99 cents. So it's important that every point is able to invoke curiosity within your customers. Things that sounds very common sense, things that can be easily found in other books, it's best not to mention them, at least not in the same way. So how to feel youthful in 4 simple ways. Versus the little known, the 4 little known ways to feel youthful without, mention a frustration again. Which one sounds better? I would think that it's this one. I mean, ego aside, it's not about me. It's not about my opinion. But personally, I find that this is more, it invokes more curiosity within me rather than 4 simple ways. Why not say the 4 little known ways? Then the question now people will be thinking is, wow, what are they? Right? And then you won't have Smart Alex coming and saying that, Smart Alex coming in to say that, I know this, I know that, I know this, I know that. So at least with all these points, like 4 little known ways, the ultimate 20 minutes routine that can drastically slow down the aging process, or that has been scientifically proven. Of course, assuming it's real, you can say it's scientifically proven, then you have my attention, right? So again, it's about standing in the point of view from a customer and asking yourself, is it enough to capture my attention or not? If it's not enough, then keep revising, right? Okay, so by the way, I just saw EE raising her hand. So hi EE, nice to see you online. It's been a while. So EE, if you have any questions, feel free to type that inside the questions box. Okay. So I had no idea that I actually activated the ability for people to raise their hands. Okay, so EE, if you have any questions, just type it out in the questions. Okay, in the chat box. And hi Evelyn, welcome to the session as well. Okay, so let's summarize everything that I've done so far. After going through these 3 critiques tonight, which is all I have, by the way, one common similarity between the first 2 is that, or all 3, is that they don't really have a strong unique selling point, right? So this is the part where you really need to know your market really well. And for a moment, just pretend that you're a customer and ask yourself, as a customer, knowing what I know about the market, assuming this is my desire, these are my frustrations, would having this USP be enough to suck me in, to get my attention? If the answer is not, just keep going to find a USP. If you cannot find a USP in the market, switch the market. There's so many markets out there. There's no need for you to force yourself to be part of the market, right? Okay. That's the first takeaway for today. And the second takeaway is that as you're writing your own description, my suggestion, after you have published, or maybe before you even publish, that would be a good exercise. Before you even get your ebook cover, how about that? Before you even get your ebook cover, after you've written your description, you decided on your title, revisit it again 1 day later, and ask yourself as a target customer, would you have bought the book yourself? If your answer is no, how can you further improve it? Is it the cover? Is it the title doesn't sound sexy enough? Is it that the USP is not strong enough? What is it? So it's important for you to really understand what the market really wants. Like for example, in this case, look at feel younger even after 50. It's a good market because these are the people who have the money, willing to spend the money to look good, especially female who are above 50. They would do not mind to spend money looking younger to feel more youthful. But it's a matter of how do you target them. So you probably, okay, here's what we can do as well, okay? I think this will add more distinction to you guys. Now, especially when you're dealing with health products, you don't just need to copy or take a look at or model after those descriptions written by ebook writers. Why not take a look at youth products or let's say beauty products for females after 50 and take a look at how do they craft their description? How do they name their products? Let's take a look over here. Okay, so let's take a look at SK-II, Sephora, etc., etc. And let's take a look at their description. Deliver an intense dose with this smoothing, uses time release by attracting soft, healthy-looking complexion, right? So if this is what people are looking for, why not you add soft, healthy-looking complexion into your description, right? Oh, not this one. This is for monstrous kids. Okay. To feel youthful are 4 little known ways that can drastically to slow down the signs of healthy and natural and leave your skin soft, healthy looking, and leave your skin with a soft, healthy looking complexion. There you go. That's right. So you need to use all these keywords. Now I know what's missing. There is no sexy words inside or keyword phrases inside your description. It does not have any emotions to it. That's why it sounds a little bit dry. So you need to take a look at all these products, which by the way, are you guys learning something over here? Right? So these are the things these are the tricks that we can pull on creating ebook descriptions that will entice the customers even more. Don't just look at ebooks, look at other products. Even if you're dealing with investing, real estate investments, take a look at how, for example, you flip through the Straits Times or you flip through the Star, and you take a look at how all these real estate developers attract investors, attract buyers of properties. Look at the words that they use that, look at the way they structure. You look at the keywords that they use inside their advertisements. This will give you a very good description, a very good feel of how the market wants. And especially you model after those properties that you know are hot selling. What are the hot points that people are looking for, etc., etc. Right? So let's take a look at SK-II. What else do they say? Firm and radiant complexion. See, keep talking about complexion. Maybe because it's a beauty product, but why not? Nourishes dry areas of the skin, fills in the gap to reduce any signs of aging. To reduce any signs of aging. Wow, after 1 jar, fine lines will appear less defined. Wow. Okay, so to reduce any signs of aging both healthily and naturally, and leave your skin with a soft, healthy looking complexion. Wow. Even I'm amazed. I mean, jokes all aside. But that's what you would do, right? Inspired by the latest revitalization. So why not use things like revitalize your skin, right? Revitalize. Little known ways to revitalize yourself. Okay, I'm not too sure whether that is appropriate. But can you revitalize yourself? I don't know. Doesn't sound right, okay? To tighten skin, target wrinkles, they find their skin's more rested. What does rested means? Mean like saggy. Look more defined and complexion revitalized. All right, review. Okay. So you can also take a look at other websites. Look at how do they position, how do they convince people to buy their products, and how do they name their products. Then that will give you a very good idea, much a better idea as to how you can target the customers inside your target market. Okay? So I really hope that what you guys have learned so far is important, or that you find it important enough to take down the notes. Because every single time I have this experience where I go through the exact same thing again and again during the webinars, and I have people making the same mistakes. Now, making mistakes are fine as long as you learn from them, right? So let's continue to make more mistakes, that's fine. But what is more important is we learn from them, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a 30 seconds break because I'm done with all the submissions. For those of you, for any one of you who happen to have any questions, post it inside the chat box. Let me know what the question is. If you have no questions, write down what you have learned so far. Okay? Okay, so right now, here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to answer this question for the next 30 seconds. Okay? So for the next 30 seconds, answer this question and I'll join you back shortly. In the meantime, if you have any questions, type it inside the chat box and I will address them when we come back. All right? Okay, so welcome back. Aha moment for Evelyn. Can sleep over at night and relook at the USP. Yes, please do that. That's a good idea. Worth spending more time on a good USP for Ni Kwang. That is the biggest aha moment for him. That is good. So keep the aha moments keep coming, okay? This is really good stuff. So right now, here's the questions that I've received from the chat boxes. Or rather the chat box, there's only one. So let's take a look at the questions right now. For the Amazon gift card purchase, the credit card details should use our own local credit card address or US address. Credit card details always have to use the local credit card. Okay, and my suggestion is you just use credit card of someone that you trust or someone who gave you permission to use. Okay. Jessica asks, after the launch formula, when you do the next free download day, do you have to off the com, or you mean off the campaign at 3 a.m. the next day? Yes, you still do that. Okay, so by the way, I have some good news that I would like to share with you guys as well. Okay, let me answer this last question from Jessica first, or at least it seems like the last question. Then I will share with you the good news. Okay, so I will put it in good news. All right. So Jessica said, if I receive a script from a writer, but after I went through it over and over, I still don't think it's unique enough. I decided not to launch it. I would like to save that fund. Is that a good idea? Yes, it is. And then the question is now, why is it not unique enough? That means when you were creating the ebook, perhaps, did you rush through the USP part? if you did, right, if you did rush through the USB part, that's fine. I mean, it's a learning experience. You just leave the ebook as it is. You can create a cover, go ahead, complete the whole publishing process, and you just upload the book anyhow. Even if it brings you 1 sale, 2 sale, 3 sales every month, it's still money, right? Give it enough time, it will cover its costs. Just leave it up there on the internet. Put it there, okay? Just leave it up there now. Okay, so in the meantime though, I think suggestion, go work on a USP first. So of course, if you're doing things for the first time, it may not sound like it's very easy. Maybe it may even sound a little bit tough for you to be able to find a unique selling point. But sometimes it's just about try and error. Seriously, sometimes it's all about try and error. Like, if I were to determine that this is a good USP in my opinion, that is just my opinion. But my opinion matters nothing more than the market. So I'm just going to release the book anyhow, and I'll see the response from the market. If the market really don't want the ebook, I really have very lousy sales after that, then I won't touch the book anymore. I'll just leave it as it is. I'll move on to the next market and create another new USP again. Okay? So whatever the case is, create another ebook with a stronger USP. At the end of the day, it's the USP that saves the day. It's seriously the USP that saves the day. If you have a unique selling point, the book will remain a bestseller. Okay? Okay, so the good news is this. The good news is one of our graduates, his name is Kee, K-E-E, right? Oh, and Evening has already, oh yeah, Kee, good. So I wanted to share this good news. Kee has been testing out this thing called the AMS, which is Amazon's platform for advertising ebooks and or other products, okay? And he has been getting really good ROI. In fact, he said that for every $1 he put in, he's been getting $2 back. And he has also shared in the forums that he's willing to share with us the process of getting AMS, which is the platform where he does advertising, which is on Amazon. He's willing to share with us step by step on how he does AMS advertising, right? So keep a lookout for that in the forums. And whenever or when he has posted up the step-by-step instructions, I'll be the first. If he's not the first, I'll be the first to inform you guys and let you guys know that you can go and learn from him, okay? Or learn from the forum posts. So this is a community, and I'm very excited that ideas are not just coming from me, but ideas are coming from fellow community members as well, which is good because this is what a community is for. I did not create a community just so that I can feel good about myself, knowing that I have all the information. No. I created a community because I wanted to learn from all of you as well. So we will learn from each other. Good news again, there is another way to do promotion in case you didn't catch my drift. And he said that this has worked very well for him. $1 he put in, he get back $2. This is a tremendous ROI, right? And this sounds like a very long-term strategy. Unlike the launch formula, which works based on how long your book continues to receive exposure, the AMS platform allows you to put your ebooks in front of the right target market every single day, every single time. Of course, there's an ad budget, but after he shared this inside the ebooks in the forums, I would highly recommend all of you to go test it out and share with me on a private level. That's good as well. Just share with me what are some new strategies or distinctions that you made about AMS, and then we can refine the whole process together and we can share with one another the whole process. And together as a community, we can grow, we can bring in more income, we can bring in more success stories. And with more community members, our plan of being able to promote each other, to put each other's books inside our customers who bought this item also bought section is going to come true. Okay, so from now to then, just a couple of questions. Let me handle them before we call it a night. Okay. So Evelyn also said that she tried AMS and she thinks that it's not bad. Oh yeah. I mean, for Kee Guan or Kee Guan Hin, I don't know which is his surname, but for Mr. Kee, for Kee, he said that it works very well for him, and I trust him. And there's no reason for him to lie. Okay, so Jessica asked this question. I've watched a video about publishing a paperback, realized I recommended us to use other platform. I do notice that they do have a platform to create a paperback. Yes, they do. It's called CreateSpace. Right? So you can publish it, and you should publish it via CreateSpace. It is a sister company of Amazon, by the way. And unless Kindle has a new feature to help you create a paperback. Otherwise, I doubt so. I highly suspect that it is still the same CreateSpace that they will redirect you to. So yes, you should go and try it out. Even for ebooks that you do not think have a future, even if you put it as a paperback, don't be surprised, people will still buy. Okay? So next one. Hong Cheng is asking, can the USP be the same as the description? I'm not too sure whether you meant that way, but the question, if you were to ask me, should the USP be listed in the description? Yes, it should be. Is the USP, should the exact USP be used in the title and the description? The answer is yes. But other than that, the USP is a unique selling point. It should not be the same as description. Description should contain the USP, but description is not the USP. Okay? Okay, great. So you're welcome, Jessica. You're welcome to everyone who has just said thank you. So anyhow, I've covered most of what I have. I don't like to keep people's time. I don't like to keep people and waste people's time. So should you have any other questions besides what I've covered so far, keep them coming. Send it to my email, support@bestsellerincome.com. Okay, so I'm just going to type it out over here. This is the new support email in case you have always been sending to my personal email. I've now redirected them to this. Allows me to focus much better. Support@bestsellerincome.com. You can send me all the questions that you have. I'll do my best to get back to you as fast as I can. Now, I understand that this year I will be pretty busy traveling. In fact, I just came back from Hanoi, Vietnam, about 2 weeks ago. We're going to conduct sessions in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh sessions as well, and Malaysia. And this year I'm going into Thailand as well. It's my first time in Thailand speaking. And hopefully, if all else goes well, I would also be speaking in Australia as well. So in the meantime, should you have any questions, feel free to send it to me. I will make it a point to fit it inside my schedule to reply to you guys as fast as I can. All right? So it's been a pleasure serving all of you tonight. And it's been a huge pleasure and a huge enjoyment as well. I mean, I can't believe that I'm looking forward to Inner Circle webinars. It's as if my life has nothing else to look forward to. Maybe because I've been slacking too much and I got too used to life. But whatever it is, I enjoy training you guys and I enjoy learning from you guys as well. So let's keep this energy going on. Right? Let's keep this positive energy going on. And by the way, just another good piece of good news. I heard that there is this other inner circlet. His name is Katzi. He attended another seminar conducted by Ace Profits Academy, which is my collecting agent, otherwise known as the event organizer that organizes our programs in Singapore. One of my team members or the staff from another company saw him in the seminar and actually asked him if he has published a bestseller already. I mean, just as a joke, right? To my guy's surprise, he said that yeah, he already have a bestseller on Amazon, and he is targeting the forex trading or option trading. I can't remember what it is. So congrats to participants like him, because I mean, with effort, with practice, you can become a bestseller. Everything is possible. This year, 2007, as you know, is a tough year ahead for many people who only depend on jobs. So congratulations, because you guys have moved on, that you now have another source of income, that you now have the skills to create passive income for yourself. So this is a valuable skill. If you hone it over time, it will bring you a lot of happiness. It can bring you a lot of wealth in the future, especially when we now know that technology, IT is replacing people's jobs. Now we are leveraging on the same technology that's putting people out of jobs. We're now leveraging on the same technology to create more income for ourselves. So great job, everybody. It's been a pleasure training you guys. I hope to see you again in the next webinar. Keep the questions coming. All right. Talk to you soon.